The University of Chicago is a community of scholars dedicated to research, academic excellence, and the pursuit and cultivation of learning. Members of the university community cannot thrive unless each is accepted as an autonomous individual and is able to participate in our community without harassment, discrimination, or violence. It is everyone's responsibility to ensure the safety of the university community by looking out for one another and being aware of the policies and resources surrounding discrimination and harassment at the university. Specifically, this video will be addressing the issue of individuals with Title IX reporting responsibilities. It will discuss who holds this responsibility, how to respond to disclosures of sexual misconduct, and how to report a disclosure to the appropriate office. Our goal is that everyone have the tools to understand their obligations, support members of the campus community, and work together to prevent and eliminate sexual misconduct at UChicago.
Title IX of the Education Amendments of 1972 prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex in educational programs and activities. This includes all forms of sexual misconduct, sexual assault, dating violence, domestic violence, stalking, discrimination based on gender, gender identity, or sexual orientation, unwelcome touching, kissing, hugging, or massaging, retaliation, and sexual harassment behaviors, such as unwelcome pressure for a relationship, invasive or explicit comments about a person's appearance, sex life, gender, or sexual orientation. Individuals with reporting responsibilities are individuals who a student reasonably believes has the authority or duty to act in a situation and has no bearing on actual employment status at the university. These individuals must report all incidents of sexual misconduct to a Title IX coordinator. Individuals with Title IX reporting responsibilities include, but are not limited to, faculty and instructors, resident assistants, resident heads, resident deans, teaching assistants, graduate assistants, deans of students, athletic coaches, UCPD staff, and all other university staff when they are acting in the capacity of their campus role. Students can also contact a Title IX coordinator directly to report sexual misconduct. It is also important to report to the Title IX coordinator behavior that, on its own, may not be so severe or pervasive that it would be considered unlawful sexual harassment, but that nonetheless can create a negative and unwelcoming environment for study and work. In these situations, the Title IX coordinator may have the opportunity to address behavior before it becomes more of a problem. And in doing so, you contribute to creating and maintaining a welcoming and inclusive environment in your department, division, or school.
Supporting someone who has experienced or is experiencing any form of sexual misconduct can be challenging. The most important part of responding to a disclosure is to listen. Do not assume you know what the individual needs, as needs can vary. Support the individual disclosing by offering non-judgmental statements and in being there for them. Refer them to resources on campus, including confidential resources. If you are an individual with Title IX reporting responsibilities, inform the individual of your obligation to disclose the information and what that means, but do not shut down the conversation. The individual has come to you for a reason, because they feel comfortable sharing this information with you and they believe you can assist them. Individuals have a variety of options for reporting sexual misconduct concerns. Confidential resources are available to provide support, resources, and information to students. These individuals do not share identifying information about the people or incidents without the student's consent. Sexual assault deans on call can be reached at 773-834-HELP and are available 24/7, 365 days a year to answer any questions related to sexual misconduct, including questions about Title IX, university policy and processes, including the university's disciplinary processes, resources and support services, filing a report with local law enforcement, or obtaining medical assistance. Other confidential resources include student counseling service, student health service, and ordained religious advisors. Individuals with Title IX reporting responsibilities are also a resource for students. As indicated, individuals with these reporting obligations must disclose information received to the Title IX coordinator and do the following: Take prompt action in reporting information when you have knowledge of a sexual misconduct concern. Make it clear you are an individual with reporting responsibilities. You can disclose on your syllabus, to your class, or at your first departmental meeting. Do not disclose the identity of parties or witnesses or details to others, and no one should make outreach outside of the Title IX coordinator or do any type of investigation on their own. Receiving disclosures can be challenging, particularly when a student might request that their information not be shared with anyone. In these instances, it is important to maintain compliance but also show care to the student involved. While you will still need to report instances of sexual misconduct to our office, you can let the student know they are not in trouble, they are not required to meet with our office, can access resources at any time, and will be receiving an email with various forms of support and resources. You can continue to create an open and supportive environment for the student to feel comfortable speaking with you. Note that in many cases, what a student is saying might not be the exact language we use to describe the behavior in our policy. For example, a student might disclose that someone is consistently meeting them in their dining hall and reaching out to them online in ways they do not want. While we might define this behavior as stalking and subsequently can assist the student with supportive measures through our office, it is important for you, as an individual with a Title IX reporting responsibility, to recognize nuanced instances of unwanted behavior and connect with us immediately. We are always available to consult when the behavior is such that it may or may not rise to a level that needs to be disclosed to a Title IX coordinator.
Reporting an incident to the Title IX coordinators is private and does not mean the student who experienced the incident somehow loses control of the process. After a report is made, the Title IX coordinator will review the information reported and inform the individual with Title IX reporting responsibilities that the information has been received. We'll make outreach to the student disclosing or to a third party that discloses. If the student wants to connect, our office will set up a meeting to discuss further. And if they don't want to connect, our office will follow up a week later with additional information for future review. If a student would like to schedule an appointment, we will meet to discuss the incident and inform the student of their options regarding accommodations, interim measures, and the university's disciplinary processes. Students can choose not to move forward with the university's disciplinary processes, but still receive support services. In some instances, a Title IX coordinator may need to move forward with an investigation based on information already received. If this happens, the student disclosing will be notified before any further communication occurs. Retaliation of any kind is strictly prohibited for either party involved with the reporting and adjudication of sexual misconduct concerns. Retaliation is considered an adverse action taken against you as a result of engaging with our office. Reporting concerns to our office is a protected activity, and you cannot be retaliated against for doing this. In addition, retaliation is a separate violation under the policy on harassment, discrimination, and sexual misconduct. Individuals with Title IX reporting responsibilities have similar obligations with respect to reports received or observed involving their colleagues, meaning that they have a similar obligation to report to a Title IX coordinator all incidents of sexual assault, sexual abuse, sexual harassment, dating violence, domestic violence, and stalking, regardless if it involves a student, a faculty member, an other academic appointee, or staff member. Finally, as with allegations against students, reporting an incident to the Title IX coordinator is private and does not mean that the person who experienced the behavior somehow loses control of the process. The Title IX coordinator will likewise review the information received, make outreach, meet with the person affected by the reported behavior, and discuss support and resources as well as options available. Similarly, in certain situations, the Title IX coordinator may need to move forward with an investigation even if the person who experienced the behavior does not want to do so. If this occurs, the person affected will be notified.
Students becoming aware of and utilizing the reporting options available to them, as well as individuals with reporting responsibilities understanding their obligations, serves the dual purpose of meeting the immediate need for support and resources of that student and communicating the institution's values to the campus community. While these reporting obligations exist from a compliance perspective, we believe care and empathy for the individuals involved can coexist and remains a priority when managing these difficult situations. By you disclosing information to our office, it allows us to engage with the individuals involved to provide intentional and specialized support and resources. Everyone needs to be involved in working towards a positive climate at UChicago, and we are committed to providing faculty, staff, postdocs, and students the opportunity to pursue excellence in their academic and professional endeavors, free from unlawful harassment, discrimination, or sexual misconduct. This opportunity can exist only when each member of the campus community is assured that their work, learning, and research occurs in an environment that is grounded in respect and civility. For further information or for additional questions or concerns, please reach out to Title IX at uchicago.edu.